Hello, welcome back, people. We just wrapped the NBA draft, and it was a huge night for the Mavericks. If you've been listening to the recent pods, you know I've been doing my best not to have any expectations as far as specific players and things like that. I've been trying to be reactionary rather than trying to predict or project what I want the Mavs to do, and I don't know if that was a factor or not, but I am through the I'm giddy right now. Like I could go outside and play a game, full court basketball. I'm so hyped right now. Like we cleaned up, and apparently the night might not even be over as far as that is concerned. I'm gonna keep my eye on Twitter here. Actually, let me open up a tab so I don't have to look at it on my phone. But I'm gonna keep my eye on Twitter because we just signed a two-way guy who I didn't even know was still in the draft. I thought for sure that he had come back for next year, and we'll get into that later. But man, I like I said, I'm hyped. I enjoy watching the draft tonight. I had to mute Woj and Shams and guys like that since they were tipping picks, which I can't stand. I'd rather hear it live, rather see the reactions live. And you know, it was an emotional night for these guys. There were a lot of guys that were crying to the point that they couldn't even speak when they were being interviewed. And you know, the room got a little dusty in here tonight. I had to air it out a little bit. My eyes got wet, as one of my coworkers would say. But man, it was great to see that. Like, you know, this year's been tough on everybody. And you know, these kids, they're becoming millionaires, yes, but they've been through a lot. Like if they were in college, wherever they were playing basketball stopped suddenly in March for everybody, and some of these guys haven't gotten to really play since then or be seen. They didn't get to go through a regular combine. They didn't get to go to the regular trips to visit teams and work out and be around people. Like their lives have been in the balance, and especially these underclassmen guys who had to make very tough decisions on whether or not they were going to go back to school because of all this. So again, for a lot of these guys, you can just see the relief, like the release of having to wait 7 extra months? I don't even know. Like all this extra time that they've had to wait before they could even know if they're going to be NBA players, let alone where they're going to go. So it was great to see the emotion. I think also being able to stay home and be around family and friends in that type of environment allowed them to be more comfortable to release and know that they can be comforted and not have to deal with a whole bunch of the extra stuff that you would have to deal with sitting in a green room or whatever. I don't know. I think for me, the story of the night was, for the Mavs at least, was the moves that we made to get additional guys. We did lose a fan favorite, but you know, you got to give up some things to get some things. So I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll get into specifically what the Mavs did tonight and why I am ready to go play a game of full court basketball. Okay, welcome back, and we're getting straight into it. The Mavs, they kept their picks, first of all. There was a lot of speculation about different trades that we might be involved in. But Donnie, when he came on the Step Back Mavs podcast and spoke to Dalton, was very clear that they were prepared to use those picks. If the trades weren't enticing, they were not going to be trading for grizzled vets with those picks. And that was an honest statement. He came out, he used the picks, he got young guys, and, you know, the dust has not settled. We don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of days, but as of now, it was a ridiculous draft. Let me take a sip of this water real quick, actually. That's Deer Park water. If you want 100% natural spring water, it's Deer Park. All right. Anyway, so the first pick at number 18 was Josh Green out of Arizona. This was Richard's guy. Richard Stamen, Mavs Draft on Twitter. This was his guy. This was the guy he wanted at 18. So he got his wish, which almost never happens. It's amazing, but I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for us because Josh Green is an excellent fit. 6'6" wing, and I do mean a real wing. We actually have a real wing on the roster. Brings defensive intensity to the squad. He's an athlete. His shot got better over the course of the season this past year. And, I mean, we know how the Luka effect works, so that's probably just going to improve. He's a high-energy guy, and, I mean, basically everything I wanted to complement Luka. Like, of course, we want a secondary ball handler as well, but if you're going to put a wing out there with Luka, you need a guy that's high energy, that is willing to do the extra things on defense, and that's Josh Green. So a lot of potential there. I'm very curious to see how he's going to look in a couple weeks, because, training camp's right around the corner. So no summer league or anything like that. So, I mean, they're going straight to it. But Green is an excellent pickup with that draft pick. We've got his rights for the next 4 to 8 years. And there's a lot of upside there. Like, even if he doesn't develop into a great shooter or like attacker off the bounce, like, he's coming in at about a DFS type level of being able, like, if we had to play him DFS minutes, he would be able to produce, hitting a couple threes a night, getting a couple steals, and playing good defense on the best perimeter guy on the other team. Like, that's what he's going to be there to do right away. The next guy we got was someone I didn't really know much about with pick 31, Tyrell Terry. The eye test, when you look at him, you're going to think Steph Curry, Trae Young mold. He's a 6'3" guard, savvy, can get buckets. Now, initially, I was like, why are we drafting this scoring guard? We have a ton of those already, but we immediately made a trade that made that more clear, so I'll get to that in a second. But first, Tyrell Terry, again, a savvy guard, can shoot the three ball over 40%, crafty finisher around the basket as well, and good range on his threes. So, again, I don't like guys that just shoot, so being able to see that he's a guy who can shoot off screens, off the catch, off the bounce, push it up the floor, stop on a dime, and hit the shot. And then also, when the opportunities present themselves, go to the rim, finish through contact. There was a lot of and ones. If you go look at his highlights, you can see a lot of and ones for him. That fills a role, especially when you realize that we ended up trading the guy that we had on the roster that does those things, Seth Curry. And, I have a Seth jersey. I'm not a jersey person, but I have a Seth jersey, so I love Seth. I can admittedly say that he did disappoint me from time to time with his lack of aggression. So if Terry, when he gets his opportunities, if he's going to be aggressive, then by all means, good riddance. Wish Seth the best of luck in Philly. They're going to be a contending team. He feels a need for them as well. But that trade, it was Seth Curry for Josh Richardson, who's another 3-and-D type guy. You could look at his stats and you'll say, oh, his three-point shooting was down last year. But again, we come back to the Luka effect. I will expect that he's going to likely be penciled in that starting lineup right now. We'll see. But either way, he gives us another versatile wing who can defend multiple positions and hit some shots. So we got Josh Richardson, and we got the 36th pick in the draft for Seth. And so then with that 36th pick, we got Tyler Bay, who is another defensive wing. And he's going to fit that DFS comparison a bit more than Green does, because Green is actually a true kind of guard. Bay played a lot of 4 in college at Colorado, and I think his natural position in the NBA is going to be the 3, but, he's got small ball 4 skills. So, Bay was the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. He only shot 1 3 a game this year, but he shot 42% on those threes. So basically, with that, I look at it as if if a team tries to play off of him or ignores him or isn't paying attention to him, he can hit a three. His mechanics are good. I think that his shot is not something I worry about. That's something I think that's going to develop, at least on a catch and shoot basis. Like, I don't expect him to be taking guys off the bounce and pulling up, but he also had a little bit of a turnaround jumper from a back-to-back or back to the basket situation or a mid-range jumper, so he can score the ball a little bit, but again, we got a guy who can defend. He's another guy who's very active as well, like Green, weak side shot blocker. He chases rebounds out of his area. I think he averaged like 9 rebounds or so a game this past season. So again, a small interior four, if we play him at a small ball four, who hustles though and plays hard. And again, in that mold of a guy who's just going to do whatever you ask him to do, which we need more of. Now, if that wasn't enough for you, after the draft, we got busy on the phones and we signed another dog. And I do mean a dog. Nate Hinton, out of Houston, sophomore guard, a 6'5" guard who averaged 9 rebounds a game. 9 rebounds a game for a guard, which is ridiculous. Like, again, you go watch his highlight tapes, you're going to hear all kinds of comments about here he goes, here's Nate Hinton again, or guess who it is, Nate Hinton. Like, he's diving on the floor for loose balls. He's clamping up on guys and taking the ball out of their hands. He's pushing the ball in the fast break and finding his guys. Like, he does everything. And shot 39% from 3 as well. I look at him as a playmaker. He's a playmaker on both sides of the ball. Like, he makes things happen. There was clips of the South Carolina coach, my man Frank Martin, talking about how he just embarrassed us when they came to South Carolina and played us. I think he had 17 and 11 in that game. And I thought he had gone back to school. This is what I was talking about earlier. I thought he was going back to Houston for his junior year. So when I saw someone's tweet that he had said in his live that the Mavs signed him, I was completely shocked because I had him penciled in early as like a late first-round pick for next year on my board already. Like, he was already penciled in as a guy that was potentially going to be a first-round pick next year. So the fact that we've got him this year, we're giving him a 2-way contract, which basically means he doesn't take a true roster spot, but we do continue to have the rights to him, and we can sign him to a full deal later depending on how things play out the rest of the year or going into next year. So again, he's a fun guy. Like, watch his highlights, watch how active he is, watch him come out of nowhere and grab a rebound over the top of a 7-footer. Like, watch him dive out of bounds to save the ball, watch him jump on a ball defending one-on-one in a clutch situation. I think he had like multiple clutch steals in tight games. Like, he's a guy, he's the type of guy you want on your team. So I'm excited about these pickups. Donnie apparently knew what he was doing. He knew what he was after. He had a type tonight. And I think I tweeted that Donnie went and got us 3 DFS type guys who are just do the dirty work and are going to learn and grow basically in this system. Like, they're all guys that love basketball, and that's invaluable, and they're all going to work. They all come in with some level of ability to shoot already, and that's only going to improve. So, man, like, I don't know if y'all can tell, I am hype. I am still hype. And I don't think the Mavs are done. I think Donnie just actually mentioned it in an interview, apparently. They are not done. Okay, speaking of not done, just got some more news, actually. The Mavs have signed another player. And it was the area that I was hoping they would pick somebody up for him. It's a big man. This time it is 6'9", power forward / center Freddie Gillespie out of Baylor. 6'9", 245 with a 7'6" wingspan. Averaged 9 points, 9 boards, and 2 blocks. Has a very solid body. He actually is not really like a power big. He's more of a finesse type guy as far as his scoring. He has like a nice mid-range face-up jumper and a nice like short-range game where he's more likely to shoot over you than try to power through you, which is fine when you have a 7'6" wingspan. He does get up to get some rebounds. He sets good screens, has great hands, rolls hard. He was an all Big 12 defender this year. And I think the thing that's most impressive about him is his story. He's a guy who got into basketball late. He didn't play organized basketball, I think, until the 8th grade. He was more of a football guy, but fell in love with it after a couple years. Wasn't really recruited, ended up going to a D3 college where he didn't play his freshman year. Sophomore year, he played like 16 minutes a game at a D3 college, but said he was watching basketball and like looking at the guys in D1, and he was like, I can play with those guys. So he bet on himself. He got in touch with the Baylor people through a family friend. He was offered to walk on because they didn't have a scholarship to offer him. And, he took that risk. He left his hometown, or he left Minnesota where he was living, and went to Baylor, walked on to the team, pretty much worked his entire first year. And then this year he comes in, like I said, averages 9, 2 blocks. They had that long 23-game winning streak this year. He was a big part of that. He was, like I said, Big 12 all defense. And just a fun guy. I'm excited about him. Man, we really cleaned up. We're still cleaning up. I don't know what's next. By the way, 4 offensive rebounds a game out of his 9. So again, he's busy. He's a solid pickup. He's another guy that fills a need. We need another big body. We needed a big that does some things that are different than the bigs we have. That idea of bullpen bigs, we've added more depth. I did not get the details on if his contract is a 2-way or whatever, but it doesn't matter. He's ours, and that's exciting. And I'm punching this in, so I don't know how this is gonna flow. I think after this I start talking about the Hardaway decision, but again, Freddie Gillespie, another guy, big body this time, and we got the three guards, one like combo forward wing, and then now a true big, a 4-5. So I'm excited, man. I'm incredibly excited about this team right now, and now I'll punch this in and get back to talking about Hardaway. THJ still has not made his decision on opting in or out. We'll see if what we've done tonight influences that decision. If he opts out, I still think we're okay. Like even if he is off the roster, consider him out, Seth out, and we brought in Richardson. We brought in 3 other guards, or 2 if you want to not count Hinton since he's on a 2-way. And we still got free agency. There's still guys that are going to want to come play with Luka Doncic. Despite what our money situation is, we can find a way to make certain things work. I also think these moves make some guys expendable. I'm not going to say no names because I ain't trying to get my head chewed off, but I think we have a lot of flexibility right now with some of those guys on the roster, depending on what options are presented to us. Now, I could begin to speculate on, what I think is going to happen, but there's no need for that. We're just going to wait, and I'll be back on either late Friday or Saturday, maybe not even late. I'm not sure what time, but I'm going to have a guest on to talk about whatever's happened in free agency, trades, the draft, whatever. More should have happened by then. Free agency fully begins on Friday, so I expect some big moves. We'll probably record later in the afternoon on Friday and try to get that out this weekend. But I'm hype. I'm ready to start doing some breakdowns, sitting down, thinking about what the roster is going to look like next season. So, the Mavs got better. the Mavs got better, and that's what it should be about. Again, I'm I'm still hype. I can't calm down. I'm like, I can't sit still. It's 2 a.m. here in the East Coast, and I need to go to bed. I'm working tomorrow. I'm off Friday, but I'm working tomorrow, so I need to go to bed. So with that, I'm going to shut this off, keep it short. So peace, and go Mavs.